Secrets nobody ever tells you about winning his heart. Hi guys, my name is Veronica. I'm a relationship coach. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about a topic that many women find so confusing, and that is how to win a man's heart. And honestly, when I watch people give relationship tips, it's a lot about playing games, playing hard to get, not really showing your authentic selves, and I'm absolutely the opposite there. I encourage everyone to be as authentic as possible. But what I think is actually the problem here is that most women do not understand men. And we have this a little bit unhealthy development in our society that we want to make men and women the same. We say, there's no differences there, we are pretty much all humans, but I believe there's a strong difference between men and women, which can be seen in our femininity, in our masculinity, and this plays a major, massive role in relationship happiness. And that's what I want to teach you today, so let's get into it. Before we get started, however, I want to tell you that what I'm going to teach you today will only work if the man that you are dating or in a relationship with, if he is a good-willed man, if he has good intentions towards you. Because essentially what I'm teaching you is all about showing respect towards your man. And when you do that, then he will that's literally how you win his heart, because then he will feel a lot of love for you, because this is a man's deep craving, is to be loved. Has he not good intentions towards you, he will use that to treat you in a really bad way. So only do this if you can be sure that he's a really great man, and that at the bottom of his heart he has your best interest in mind. Alright, so the first secret that no one ever tells you is to learn his language and the meaning behind his sometimes insensitive words. This was an absolute game changer in my own relationship journey. I always felt that men are so insensitive, they don't watch their language, and a part of me was fearing that maybe they have not good intention towards me. However, what I've realized is that men and women just talk very, very differently. Men are much more rational, to the point, they don't regard talking about feelings as so important, and they want to make sure that they bring out their message in the shortest way possible, to the point. For us women, this can often feel insensitive, and that they don't actually care about us because they are talking in this little bit rough way. But if you look a little bit deeper, actually what I've found is that most men are so incredibly sincere, and they really want to look out for you, but they don't think that by sugarcoating things that is how they serve you best. They very often want to tell you the truth, even if it's a hard truth. So learn to understand the language of men, and try, when they are talking, to look into their hearts. What is actually a deeper meaning? Ask questions, like, hey, how do you mean that? Like, what is your intention behind saying that? And when you really listen, very often you will hear that they actually just want the best for you, and are just a little bit, let's say, helpless how to convey this in a good way. And I can give also an example of this. My dad, for example, is completely like this, and when I was younger I was really hurt by this, because I was feeling, why is he talking to me like this? Does he not really love me? And then I realized, oh no, he talks like this because he really, really loves me, and he wants to make sure that he gives me the best advice possible, and he sees it that it's in his role to tell me the hard truths, but because he wants to protect me. And that was such a game changer for me. Now I always feel how much he loves me, and he's just different like my mom, because my mom is my biggest fan, and she always wants to tell me how good and beautiful I am, but it is also important to hear sometimes in life, about the hard things, and to hear some constructive criticism. That is very, very important, and that is very often the role of men. And when you learn his language, what will happen is that he will relax, and he will appreciate that you take time to understand how he's well-meaning for you, and that he does not want to hurt you. And this will create this feeling of love in him, because finally there's a woman who does not tell him that he actually is such a bad man and all the things that are wrong about him, but that appreciates that he is so deep, that he is thinking so deeply about her and actually wants to help her, and maybe that she sometimes forgives when he says things in a bit of an insensitive way. The second secret how to win his heart that nobody ever tells you is to appreciate and see all the things that this man is doing for you while you're dating or in a relationship. So become aware. Does he maybe do uncomfortable tasks in the household that you really don't want to do? Does he always lift heavy things for you? Maybe in a date, he's always choosing the restaurant. Maybe he's paying, maybe he's picking you up. Maybe he's walking you home at night. Appreciate the thing that he is doing. So often as women, we take things for granted, or we just don't simply see all the ways men are helping us, because maybe we are more focused on the beautiful things. Maybe we notice if he doesn't bring us flowers, but we don't notice how he every week consistently brings out the garbage without questions asked, for example, or he takes care of the family finances, and so on. So it's good to take this moment of appreciation and tell him this. Say thank you. I'm so happy that you do this for me. I really appreciate it. And that again will soften his heart and make him feel so much love for you, because he does this out of love. He wants to contribute, but he also sees other things in his masculine perspective than you maybe see. Now the fourth secret that nobody ever tells you about how to win his heart is to stop nagging and criticizing. And I have to tell this to almost every one of my female clients, because unfortunately for women, it's almost like I call it the number one weapon of choice in interacting with men. When they don't feel good, when they feel like their needs are not being met, they react by becoming really critical, to point out all the things that the men are doing wrong, because they try to get their attention and they try to get them to change. But men really hate this, because it makes them feel that they are not good enough, and it really goes into this feeling of being disrespected, and also it creates shame in them. And then the most likely reaction you will get is that they retreat and they start resenting you. They start closing their heart, so the opposite of what you want to do. But of course, I'm not saying that you should be a quiet mouse and never tell them about your needs and when things are not going well. But there's a way to communicate how you are feeling and talking about problems without nagging and criticizing. And that is what we call compassionate communication or non-violent communication. And I say this in almost every video because it is so freaking important, and every person in this world should learn this, because it is such an incredibly important life skill. So for a man, of course he wants to hear how you're doing, he wants to know how you're feeling, but not in a way that he feels that he is incredibly wrong and that there is something so bad about him, because it will just go towards his self-worth. And connected with this, also what I said in the beginning, you could also say, look, I'm struggling really with this right now, and you can talk about your own feelings. You say, because I'm feeling upset about this, also because in my childhood, my dad did the same thing, or this was never done for me, and now I really wish that this would happen in our relationship, So you can say it like this. You talk about yourselves and the deeper reasons also for why you need things. And then again, you can connect it and say, like, and look babe, these are all the things that I appreciate already about you. So you're so important to me, and you're such a great person in my life, but there's just a few areas that I still feel like I'm lacking, and I really would wish that we could change this. That was just a small example how you can share your desires and dreams and needs in a compassionate way, but you're still being honest, you're not hiding from him. Now the fourth secret about winning his heart that nobody ever tells you is to understand and encourage his masculinity. To me, my whole world changed when I suddenly understood first, that men and women are really different, contrary to what we are teaching today, but also that I can understand how my partner Matt is different than me, and so I can interpret all his actions through this understanding of masculinity. I can help him get his needs met as a man, and also I can encourage masculinity, because actually if a man is really in his healthy masculinity, there's almost nothing more beautiful for a woman. And again, he will soften his heart if you allow his masculinity. And also the beautiful thing about the masculine is that actually they are born to cherish a woman, you know? Like men love this. When they feel really, really masculine, they have a natural urge to provide and protect for you and to give you all the things that you really want. His deep admiration, appreciation, his deep, deep love for you. So do that as a homework. Google, what is masculinity? What is masculine energy? How do men think? You know, start understanding them. How do they see the world? They see the world very, very differently. And this has been shown in so many studies, you know, even how their brain works and everything. So become an expert in men, and that will soften them so much for you. Imagine when you always have this attitude of, well, I really want to understand you, I really want to learn about you, like you're so important to me, and I want to know how do you see the world, and how are you doing. Alright guys, so these were my 4 best kept secrets about how to win his heart. I hope that it really helps you. If you're interested to learn more, I run regular weekly free relationship webinars through the Conscious Relationship School, and I also have private clients for coaching and also emotional healing. You can find everything on my website. Thank you so much for joining in, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!